You know, when I come home from work, the last thing I want to do is anything. But I'm a professional chef and my wife expects healthy, fresh meals. So tonight I'm going to make a porcini turkey meatball with roasted mushrooms and a cheesy polenta in under 20 minutes. Our meatball dinner begins with our mushroom prep. So I've picked 3 of my favorite mushrooms. Of course, we've got portobello. I always love to use shiitake mushrooms. They've got great flavor. And then king oyster mushrooms. Look out for these in the store, but if you can't find any, even a cremini mushroom will do. So I like to take the king oysters to begin and cut them kind of lengthwise to really accentuate their elegant shape. Then the shiitake, I like to take off the stem. Save that for a stalk if you need, and just give it a rough chop. And then, of course, the portobello, a thinner chop because I want everything to cook at the same time. Just onto a sheet tray. A little bit of olive oil and salt, pepper, and the best part of these mushrooms is that it's the same temp and time as my meatballs, so that dinner will be done at the same time and on time, under 20 minutes. A mushroom roasted at the right temperature, seasoned with salt and pepper, a cremini mushroom will be amazing. Cook it at a high temperature, season it with enough salt, pepper, a little bit of cheese at the end. Even a cremini, even an affordable cremini is incredible. Fresh pepper, simple as that. It's ready to hit an oven, but first we need to form our meatballs. And for those, I'm using Butterball Easy Fresh Extra Lean Turkey, a super versatile ingredient that I use for meatballs, healthy meatloaves, bolognese, awesome ingredient. So we start with herbs. So I'm gonna get some flat leaf parsley that I've picked here. And my favorite way to prep an herb like parsley is to put my knife through the herb as few times as possible. I don't wanna bruise the herb. I wanna slice it evenly. I give it one slice this way. This really is a chiffonade of parsley. And then turn the parsley this way. Again, rolling back and forth with your fingers. Then fresh thyme. Thyme and mushrooms love each other. You know, mushrooms can stand up to hardier herbs like thyme or rosemary. And we just take the thyme off the sprigs with our fingers just like that. You don't need too much. We'll add it to our herbs just like this. And I'm gonna add it straight into our ground turkey, of course. Some finely chopped garlic. Every great meatball has garlic. Just right in, just like that. Seasoning, a little bit of salt and pepper again. Be generous. Cracked pepper. That's the beginning of a really great turkey meatball, but then the star, the porcini. So the porcini I've ground, but I don't want 2 large chunks of the dry porcinis. I fell in love with this porcini powder when developing this recipe. I've added it now in my standard spice rack. So if you find a mushroom that you love, buy the dry mushroom, blend it up in a spice grinder or a coffee grinder or even a food processor, but make sure it's really fine, and you can add it to your spice rack. Next thing you know, you got porcini meatballs, you've got a porcini risotto, you've got a porcini in your scrambled egg. It's like amazing. So that goes right in, and I don't have to rehydrate those dry mushrooms in any liquid because like any meatball, I'm putting some milk in there. So the milk together with the porcini as the meatballs cook will kind of hydrate everything in the meatball. So a little bit of 2% milk and then some breadcrumbs to bring it together. No need for an egg here. I don't want it to be like a meatloaf per se. This will bind it perfectly fine. Now for a meatball, the best thing you can use is your hands and get in from the side to the bottom. We're mixing to incorporate, letting the breadcrumbs soak up the milk, letting the porcini evenly distribute. Yeah, so with this turkey meatball, because I wanted the flavors to play off the mushroom, we've got fresh parsley and thyme and then the porcini powder, but some people aren't mushroom lovers, so really a meatball is a blank canvas and a versatile thing where you can go Italian with fennel seed and garlic, you could go Greek with oregano, you can go Indian with a really high quality curry mix, so it really is a versatile thing. And that's it, that's what I'm looking for. With my clean hand, I'm gonna get this plate here, and I wanna show you size is very important here because I want dinner done in just 20 minutes. So I'm gonna keep relatively small meatballs, not overly packing it. I'm gonna wash my hands really quick and then show you how we're gonna sear these up and finish them in the oven. I mean, now that we're parents, 2 things. One, time is of the essence, so when we weren't parents, we can make a long meal, open a bottle of wine, really enjoy the process. Now it's about eating fresh and healthy, but really in a short amount of time, and also making meals that you can eat with one hand. Key as a parent. So this meatball dish, you can have the baby in one hand and have your fork here, getting the meatball, getting some polenta, and also feeding yourself. One hand eating is key. I'm searing off the last of my turkey meatballs. Now look at this. This is the kind of sear you want. This is where we get that caramelization, that great flavor. I'm going to add it to a tray with my other porcini turkey meatballs here. And the best part of this recipe is everything will cook together. So 10 minutes in a 425-degree oven, these meatballs will finish cooking. The mushrooms will cook in the same oven at the same time and temp, and then we'll finish my instant polenta and dinner will be served. This is the ultimate date meal because it's smooth and silky with the polenta, it's earthy with the mushrooms, it's quick. You know, you don't want to be overworking in the kitchen either, so it gets finished with the cheese and the olive oil. It's a beautiful looking dish too. Great date meal. After just 10 minutes, look at the mushrooms and the meatballs. The mushrooms have kind of caramelized and shrunk down, really intensified in flavor, and the meatballs are absolutely cooked through. Dinner's almost ready, so we just have to finish my instant polenta, which only takes 5 minutes. Be sure to buy the instant polenta, so you stream in the polenta into boiling water, season with salt and pepper, get out all the lumps, and then at the end, you just get a little butter in there, and of course some Parmesan cheese for extra flavor. Really, really creamy, cheesy. I always have this in my pantry because it's such a luxurious kind of foundation for a dish like this. In no time at all. Stir in the cheese and the butter, and then you can put a little bed of this polenta on a plate. It's going to hold the mushrooms and the meatballs. Look at that. Awesome. And then I'll come over here, load up on these amazing roasted mushrooms. How good do those look? A couple meatballs. It's a great dinner party dish. I mean, you just cook them all together on a big sheet tray like that. And then, to finish them off in a really luxurious way, some more Parmesan cheese. Look at this. I reserved some of that parsley that I chopped, just as a little garnish. And then a drizzle of great quality extra virgin olive oil for shine. Look at that. Behold, my weeknight dinner masterpiece. You know what? This is full on flavor, short on time. It's a luxurious, rich dish that only took 20 minutes, but I'm gonna tell my wife it took me 4 hours.